Hey guys, it's Shadow, and I play Mark Campbell. If you like listening to our games, consider supporting us on Patreon. More patrons directly increase the quality and quantity of the games that we play. Go to patreon.com/critfail to support us. Thanks!
As soon as Elizabeth Sanders hears Duran Duran blasting from the bathroom she and her sister share, she realizes she's overslept. She won't be late for school. No, there's plenty of time there. But she could have had an hour or more of quiet reading time in the treehouse or school library if she left early enough. She jumps out of bed, hopping across the masking tape line that divides the room evenly in two, rushes out of the bedroom and bangs on the bathroom door, shouting to be heard over the radio, which is turned up as loud as it can go. "Melissa, I have to get ready too!" The music lowers in volume momentarily, Melissa clearly not wanting to shout her response, and she replies, "I was here first. Wait your turn and don't be such a brat, Lizzie." "I am not a brat. You're a sycophant," Lizzie retorts. She's not exactly sure what a sycophant is, but she read the word in a book and is pretty sure it's something bad. Melissa snorts and the radio is turned back up. "Let me in first. I don't take as long because I don't spend forever on stupid makeup." There is no response from the bathroom. Lizzie huffs and stomps back into the bedroom, through the purple half strewn with magazines, cassette tapes, and clothing, into her own half, which is much tidier and painted green. "Mom was supposed to wake me up before she left," she complains to the small collection of stuffed animals that reside on her bed. I guess she forgot. Again. She shoves the book she's currently reading into her school bag, along with an extra, in case she finishes that one, pulls on a t-shirt and a pair of overalls, and starts braiding her hair. She frowns, thinking of how Melissa used to do her hair for school. Before they argued about everything. Before the masking tape line. Before Melissa went to high school and decided it wasn't cool to hang out with her little sister anymore. Finishing off both red braids with a hair tie, she shakes her head. No time left to worry about Melissa, and casts her eyes around the room for other school necessities. Into the bag goes her homework and pencil case. She pauses for a moment, considering, then pulls a flashlight from underneath her pillow and shoves it down to the bottom of the bag, just in case. Rushing out into the kitchen, she opens the cupboard under the sink and pulls out a cup containing a toothbrush and toothpaste, stashed there for just such a teenage sister hogging the bathroom emergency. Mom doesn't like it when she brushes her teeth in the kitchen sink, but Mom isn't here. She scans the note on the counter, reminding her to get her lunch out of the refrigerator, and wrinkles her nose when she pulls out a bologna sandwich. Gross. Quickly making a much more appetizing sandwich, peanut butter, she decides she'll give the bologna to Mrs. Thomas's cats on her way by her favorite neighbor's house. No evidence, no waste, happy cats, no downside. "I'm leaving!" she calls back into the house while pulling on her sneakers. No response. Melissa probably can't even hear her over the music. She grabs her key off a hook by the door, drapes the loop of string it's attached to around her neck, and sets off at a brisk pace for the treehouse.
Mark Campbell lifts his head off his computer keyboard and rubs his eyes. His alarm across the room blares, "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. He can hear raised voices from downstairs, and his brother runs into his room. "Marky, Mom and Dad are fighting again." "Yeah, I hear them, Charles. Let's get you ready for school." Mark takes his brother back to his own room and gets him dressed for the day. His parents are arguing over a load of dirty dishes that did not get washed properly by the barely functioning dishwasher.
"We can't afford it. I don't care how much shit is on them. Either clean it by hand or suck it up." "Oh, Mark, I didn't see you there. Go make you and your brother some lunch and hurry off."
Mark nods sheepishly and does what he is told, even though he was already about to do that and did not require the extra prompting. He can feel his parents' eyes on him as he goes to the fridge and grabs ingredients for sandwiches. He makes both lunches in silence and then leaves to head back upstairs. As soon as he leaves the kitchen, his parents start arguing again. Here you go, Charles. Pack this into your bag for lunch today. Charles looks up from the floor where he is gathering his school supplies into a bag. Thanks, Marky, he says, grabbing it. I'm going to head out now and meet some of my friends. But Mom can walk you to school on her way to work, okay? Okay, bye-bye. About 10 minutes later, Mark stands at the edge of the forest that his parents always told him was off limits. This small act of rebellion brings a smile to his face as he enters, school bag in hand, to meet his friends before school starts.
Wayne wakes up to his radio alarm clock as Mr. Blue Sky starts to play. He gets up all groggily and looks out his window to see that it's barely light outside. He gets dressed, putting a green sweater and a pair of blue jeans on. He brushes his curly brown hair. When he's finished, he reaches under his bed to grab a Bon Jovi poster he got yesterday. He puts it up with pins and a big grin, even though he's going to get yelled at for holes in the walls. He's still happy, though, because it's his favorite band. He takes a second to admire the poster and all the pictures of bands on his wall. He grabs his guitar and finally turns off his alarm clock to run downstairs, out back and into a shed. He makes sure that the blankets on the walls are secure. As he walks over to the beanbag in the back corner, he kicks over a stack of records, which he picks up and puts them under a table, next to a stack of cassettes. With a record player and cassette player on top, and a Walkman on the shelf, he then heads over to his beanbag, sits down and plugs in his guitar. He starts playing a mix of songs and his own tunes. For a couple of hours, when he gets interrupted by his neighbor yelling, but he plays good. So Wayne gets up embarrassed and goes to sheepishly thank his neighbor. When he opens his door, he realizes that his neighbor was his record shop owner. He thanks him and heads back into a shed and grabs his Walkman. He heads back into the house, seeing his mom making pancakes. She asks if Wayne likes the poster she got for him. He nods. He puts some pancakes on a plate, sits at the table to eat with his dad. Just as he sits down, his dad gets up to leave for work. Wayne puts a cassette in his Walkman and starts to eat. When he finishes, he gets up to thank his mom for breakfast and says goodbye and heads towards the treehouse.
Dillon rolls over in his bed. It's a large bed, king size, silk sheets, sprawled messily over the bed. His hair all matted and messy. He looks up at the ceiling with a large fan that's blowing nice cool air down onto him. He looks around the room. The room's quite large, especially for the size of a bedroom, with high ceiling, white walls, solid polished marble floor that's littered with tapes and clothes, cassette tapes and clothes, the odd CD, some scrawled up homework that's been thrown on the floor or torn up. He looks at the alarm clock, or the radio alarm clock, which shows the red numbers, 6:59 a.m. As it ticks over, the alarm goes off. Dillon hits the snooze button. Groggily gets out of bed, slumbers over to the large antique dresser off to one side and kicks a tape out of the way, opens up the dresser and pulls out clothes that are obviously too large for him. A shirt that's got red sleeves and a yellow lightning bolt over a red circle. He throws off his singlet and throws that on. That's 2 sizes too large, and he puts on some black jeans with a belt that barely holds it up around his waist. And the black jeans themselves are even too long, so he folds them up and tucks them into the socks. Puts his Adidas sneakers on. And out of a dresser drawer, he pulls out a silver butterfly knife, flicks it so the blade comes out, and flicks it again, and slots the blade back in and shoves it in his back pocket. Walks over towards the double doors, looks back at his bed. In view is the large window which looks out over a very large estate with two robots working in the background. One's hedging, another one's mowing lawns. There's cobbled pathways, nicely cut lawns, green lawns outside. He opens up the double doors, and from down below he hears, "Master Dillon, is that you? Are you up?" Dillon shudders, quietly closes the doors, slides down the banner, down 2 stories. "Master Dillon?" Dillon doesn't answer, and sneaks into the kitchen, where there is an older man, an older gentleman, dressed in a tuxedo. "Master Dillon, you must get ready for school." "All right, stop pestering me, Jeeves." And Dillon walks up to the big double-door fridge, and he opens it up and pulls out a bottle of orange juice and takes a swig. "Master Dillon, you should really have something more to eat and just orange juice. I can prepare some toast for you if you wish." "No, I need to get to the treehouse. I'm going." "Master Dillon, your parents have told me strictly not to allow you to go to the treehouse." "Okay, Jeeves, I won't go to the wink wink," and Dillon winks at Jeeves, "to the treehouse. I will head to school, wink wink," and Dillon winks, "early. Fine that is, Master Dillon. Your school bag and bike are outside, ready." "Oh, okay, thank you." And Dillon puts the orange juice back in the fridge, looks outside, and the whole front of the house is almost all windows. As he goes through the open doorway, it's a huge, ornate looking door. The halls, again, polished marble floor. There's pictures and paintings and portraits that adorn the house everywhere. And he walks outside, and the house itself is an old Victorian style cottage, but it's a huge cottage. Got probably 8 rooms on the second floor alone. And his BMX bike looks like a very top quality bike. He picks up his backpack, which has got his skateboard half poking out of it, and throws it over one shoulder, jumps on his BMX bike and rides down the cobblestone driveway. And as he's headed down the driveway, he pulls off to one side where there is a slight track that's been made from, looks like constant use of him riding his bike towards a nearby forest. And he rides off onto this track that he sees. You could be forgiven for missing it if you're driving past. And Dillon rides his bike off into the forest and towards the treehouse. Dillon rides through the forest. Looks like he's got a track that he follows. The sound of birds and creatures fill the air as the wind creates its own noise, whispering through the leaves and the branches above. And he slides to a stop to this tree that's branched out, almost sprawling up into various directions. almost seemingly in the very middle of the forest, and there's a clearing that looks almost directly upwards. There's just leaves litter the ground around a house that's been built right into the middle of this tree. It's only a single room sort of tree house with ladders that have been wooden ladders that have been cut and manipulated to act as stairs in almost in a square spiral shape that leads up to an enclosed wooden structure with glass window that's had shutters fitted to the outside, and even a door on the front of it, and a small deck out the back with a hand railing to stop anyone falling over the edge. Shingled roof sits upon it, on the top of it, as some of the trunk actually goes through the middle of the treehouse. The treehouse itself and the wood on the outside looks like it's been there for some time, as almost the tree looks like it's grown through it, and some of the moss itself from the branches has merged or grown onto the outside of the treehouse too. Off to one side, there's hanging off one branch is 2 pieces of rope that is tied to a single wooden plank that acts as a swing. Dillon drops the BMX bike to the ground and climbs up the ladder staircase, gets to the top of the treehouse, opens up the door and throws his bag with his skateboard in it off to one corner and looks about.
Hey, Dylan, glad you could make it. Did your butler give you any trouble leaving?
Hey, Soup. Yeah, no more than normal.
Why did you even tell your butler there's a tree house?
Well, and it looks like he's thinking,
If the adults know about it, they're just gonna try and rip it down.
well, to be fair, I don't think my parents truly believe that there's a tree house in the middle of this forest. They just would like me to stay away from the forest, of course. Jesus, good, well-intentioned, but I think he's got my best interest at heart.
Yeah, they always say that, don't they?
I don't know. Your family is rich enough that if they wanted to rip the whole forest down, they might just.
I could do that. The pruning robot that we have.
Not encouraging, Dylan.
So, Lizzie...
Wayne gives a thumbs down when you say that.
Yeah?
Dylan looks at Wayne for a moment, and he's looking at the thumb down. Did you manage to help me with my homework?
Why is he crying while asking? What do you mean, help?
Well, and he's like kicking the ground, like kicking the bottom of the.
I told you I can't just do your homework for you. Someone's gonna notice.
Fine.
Look,
Okay,
We've got
I'll sit
time
next to you.
before school. I can look over it.
Yeah, you tell me the answers and I'll write them down.
It's not what I meant.
That's helping, isn't it?
Fine.
You'll never
Sure.
learn that way, Dylan.
What's there to learn?
Wayne silently chuckles at this.
Lizzie will start going through whatever homework he's pulled out. What type of homework is it? I think you said math.
Math. Oh, it's just math again.
Yeah, again. I mean, you thought they'd just stop giving you homework?
Why do they have to keep giving us homework? It's
Kinda
not
what
like I'm going
school
to
is.
be working.
Hey, you never know. Okay, look. This one's 21. You're gonna write it down? $43.
Wait. Dillon gets up, goes over to the bag, and
I
pulls
only
out
said
a
two
pen,
numbers.
comes back with his math homework.
Okay,
Oh, no,
21.
Hang on. Dillon heads over, gets a pen out of his bag, comes back, and okay. And he's sitting next to Lizzie, and he's writing down on the homework that she's looking at.
Okay, 21.
Mm-hmm.
43.
Mm-hmm.
This one's, okay, that's 12.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Could do year 7 maths.
Yeah, what are the other two doing?
Just watching. Probably wouldn't take too long.
Wayne's listening to his Walkman and chuckling at this.
You're really just gonna give him all the answers? Not gonna make him think for himself?
What's the point?
He could at least try the homework.
Yeah, we've tried that before. You want to know how that goes?
Enlighten me.
I say, no, you try this one. And then he just sits there and stares at the paper for 20 minutes. And I ask him if he has any ideas about the answer. And he says no. And then he stares at the paper for another long time. And then if I ask him again, he'll just say a random number. And he'll just keep saying random numbers until I give him the answer.
Oh, speaking of random numbers, and he reaches into his front pocket and pulls out $5, right? And hands over a $5 note.
That's not a random number, but yes, thank you. She will pocket it. Also this is why I do his homework.
You've got a little bit of a scam going on. Instead of teaching him how to do his homework, just do it for him and pay him. Or get paid.
I'm not... Look, that would be a terrible business model if I did his homework and paid him. No, that's not how it started. I'm supposed to be helping teach him, but like I said, when I try, you know how it goes, and then I'm just going to get in trouble for not teaching him if he doesn't have any homework to turn in. This is just easier.
I'm just paying for the help.
And I'm saving up for a bike.
So it's win-win. Lizzie gets what she wants. I get what I want. Everyone's happy.
Except Mark, it sounds like.
I'm not a fan of people cheating when it comes to schoolwork.
Hey. And Dillon's holding up his hands. No one said anything about cheating here.
Well, it'll come back to bite you when you have to take the tests in class. Can't answer any of the questions.
Huh. Well, I have no answer to that.
Seems like a problem for Adam's character. This adventure is going to be a test.
A test.
The DM has thought about this.
Yep. Like I said, I tried to teach him to do it himself, but...
Well, I wonder if I could sneak in a walkie-talkie.
No, sorry.
And
Hard
now
pass.
you are talking about cheating.
Wayne gives a
Hey,
thumbs down.
No one said anything about cheating here. I was just mentioning walkie-talkies.
Okay, well, who are you going to get to talk on the other end of the walkie-talkie? Because I'd be in class too.
Wayne shakes his head.
You could go to the nurse's office.
Sit there and talk into a walkie-talkie while the nurse is looking? They don't just, say, oh, yes, you're sick. Here, sit in a room alone and do whatever you want.
Tell them you have a migraine. They'll leave you alone.
They'll wonder why I'm talking to myself.
could always say that you have multiple personality disorder.
I don't think that would go over very well.
What is that?
Not relevant to your math homework.
Wayne face palms.
Oh, so what's this answer? 3.
59. No, not
Oh.
3. How did you get 3?
No, I'm not going to describe because then I'd have to look up how you got 59.
What math you're looking at? I'm making numbers up. Hadn't we better start heading to school?
It is getting to be about that time.
Oh, I guess.
Well, have you written all the answers? I told you, because...
He looks down. Oh, well, there's 2 missing, but that's good because
Yeah,
I can't
it'll look
get 100
perfectly
all the time.
natural when you get all of them perfect and just 2 blank.
Yep, they're the ones I couldn't do.
Oh. Alright, well, look, before you have a test, we should actually try and, make sure you understand how it works. Your teacher's gonna figure out it's not been you solving the homework if you completely fail the test.
I won't fail.
Okay, it doesn't really sound like you're planning on studying. It sounds
No.
like you're...
I'm learning a lot.
Okay, great. Well, if I don't know about how you're cheating, I don't think I could get in trouble, so that's fine. She's gonna stand up and swing her backpack over her shoulders and head for the treehouse ladder. Or steps.
All right,
Or steps
gotta
to
get to
ladder.
the ladder.
But there's like steps and then a ladder, so it's like, we'll just call it a ladder. She's gonna head to the ladder.
Well, the wooden ladders have been turned into a step. Psst.
Yeah. Into a step.
Steps.
Into steps.
And she's gonna start climbing down the ladder. Lizzie is at the base of the treehouse.
Wayne will grab his bag and also head down the ladder.
Dillon, you could try and do those last 2 questions yourself on the way to school. I mean, you still won't get 100% if you do those, but it will at least show that you're learning.
Okay, so he looks down at the paper, he pulls up a pen, puts it in his mouth, chews it. This one's 3, and that one must be 7. Huh, got it. Too easy.
Wayne peeks his head up as he was going down and shakes it.
Mark looks over Dylan's shoulder. Yeah, you got it, buddy. And we'll walk down.
Mark's statement, it'll look like you're learning. If he gets them all perfect except the last 2, which are wrong, in what way does that look like he's learning?
To you. If he could do
Like 25
the
plus 11. 7.
3. All right. Lizzie is just
All right. Thanks, Sue.
waiting to see if everyone's...
Lizzie and Wayne have left us. All right. Dillon shoves the homework in his backpack next to the skateboard, climbs down the ladder to the bottom, and picks up his BMX bike. Hops on it.
Mark
All
will
right.
follow as well and pick up his older model bike, not nearly as fancy, off the ground where he left it.
Does Wayne have a bike?
Wayne does. Average run of the mill, like in between both of them. Not the newest,
All
not
right.
the oldest.
I'm the only one without a bike.
So you'll have to get a lift.
Wanna hop in the basket?
The best.
She's 11.
No, no wonder
Good
you
work.
get beat up.
He's laughing at the fact your bike has a basket, not...
Wayne looks at Mark as if he's like, "Are you dumb?"
You're asking if I want to get in the basket?
Yeah, it could work. You're small enough.
I don't know.
Alright, walk then. And he will take off.
All right, she will walk.
Well, you can sit on my handlebars if you want.
Okay. Makes more sense than a basket.
We really should talk to Soup about having a basket on his bike.
He says it's good for carrying stuff around.
He'll get less beat up. I know he's got to do the paper run in the mornings, but heck.
All right, Lizzie will hop on the handlebars.
We're riding to school.
A swarm of kids are swirling around the front of the school. A group of seniors have their radios on as they listen to the latest track on the radio. Some are entering early before the bell. Others are meeting friends, laughing, dancing, hurriedly trying to finish the homework left undone as the bell rings.
As the bell rings, Dillon will pull the bike up next to the bike rack and slot his bike in and let Lizzie off.
As though she would be unable to leave otherwise. You have permission to leave this bike. She'll hop off the handlebars and say, "Thanks. I'm going to class. Bye."
Bye.
And she will head off to her classroom, because I think the other three have the same class, but she does
Oh no, he's splitting the party.
Wayne will do the same. He'll park his bike in the bike rack.
Dillon just realized he's got another name, and Wenny, Soup, and the Friday.
Wayne will wave at you to follow him to class, because he doesn't know if you can make it there by yourself.
He's not inept at wandering the halls of school. Yeah, well, he follows Wayne. Dillon is following Wayne. Dillon trusts Wayne.
Wayne will go to their class.
So the teacher's at the front of the class. When were hoes invented? And the class giggles. All right. Settle down. It was the 5th century BC. And where were they invented? Yes, Daniel? Street corners, sir. Congratulations, Daniel. You have 3 days detention and homework. The class laughs at his misfortune as the bell rings. Remember, Friday, chapters 3 to 6 on medieval agriculture in Eastern Europe.
I can't believe Daniel took my answer.
Wayne points at you, and then, waves his hand as a no. Not you.
I have a newfound respect for that boy.
He face palms.
He said exactly what I was thinking.
And the hallway's packed with students that are grabbing stuff from their lockers and are then running out the door. Some are lingering here and there with friends, but a lot are taking the opportunity to escape the daily prison.
I'll be heading off to the library. Unless you guys want to do something after school.
Wayne shrugs.
Library?
Wayne will head back to his house.
Lizzie is at her locker getting her things together.
And Mark is in the library.
Man, I'm so gonna fail this.
I am thinking about stuff going on at home. I haven't been able to really focus. I'm mostly just there to avoid going home at this point.
Knowing Dillon knows that Lizzie always has a routine.
Yep.
And he's standing behind her and he's got his hand behind the back of his head, scratching while she's rummaging through her locker. And he's standing there waiting.
And when she has gotten all her things, she will turn around and say, huh? What is it?
Yeah. We just got given homework in our last class. We got till Friday, though. What about you?
Same. I've got homework.
Oh, is it the same homework? And he pulls out his.
Probably not. We're in different grades.
And he looks at you as like, why would that matter?
You learn different things in different grades. Like this year, we're learning about social studies and the government, and you probably did that last year.
The government?
Yeah, about, the different roles in the government, like there's the president and the vice president and senators and stuff.
Oh, right. The government.
And the electoral process.
I thought bought their votes.
Sorry?
Isn't it the one
You're
who
not
spends the most money wins?
Not how it's supposed to work.
Anyway, I was wondering. History's not my strong suit.
I can help you, yes.
Cool.
Do you want to go to the library or the treehouse?
The library is so not radical.
Treehouse, then. See Chris grinning.
Library's for nerds.
Nerds.
Wayne comes back from his house just to chime in.
He yells down the hallway. Nerds!
I'm going home to play guitar. I'm not going to do the homework. Nerds.
Okay. Looks like
All
we're
right,
heading off to the treehouse.
Yeah, we're going to go do our homework. So I guess we both do rolls for that, but...
However, on the way, you're walking down the street, you and Dillon, and you're coming up to an edge of a building, like the corner of a building, and you can hear a conversation as you're approaching. There's always seeds outside that big green structure. I know, they have the best. Lots of different ones. I think the people dropped them.
Lizzie's going to look around and see if she can see who's talking. Because it's a weird conversation?
You look around the corner
Yep.
and you see no people. There's a couple of pigeons sitting on top of a sign.
Did you hear that?
What? Hear what?
There were people talking, but there's just pigeons over here. Talking about
Huh.
seeds?
Maybe it was the pigeons.
Y-
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the pigeons talking about... I mean, I guess pigeons like seeds, but no, pigeons don't talk.
Well, the mating call of a pigeon. As if they know what I'm saying.
They just turn and look at you like when you make the sound.
I guess you got their attention. This is ridiculous. It wasn't you talking, was it? Pigeons, you don't talk. Right?
Lizzie, are you feeling okay?
I swear there was someone here a second ago, and then when I looked around the corner, there's just these pigeons. I'm just checking. They didn't say
They don't-
anything, so
They don't say anything.
Yeah.
They just bob their
yeah.
head.
All right, well, we better go do history homework. You really didn't hear that.
Huh.
You didn't hear the people talking about seeds that people drop?
Oh, yeah, I heard seeds, but surely it wasn't the pigeons, right?
Oh, no, it can't be.
Dillon puts his bike up against the one of the corner of the building and walks down towards the pigeons, looking around the alley.
And it's dirty. There's a few bags of garbage that are out for the pickup. A couple of delivery vehicles are parked along the way. No other people that you see.
No one here.
That's really weird.
Sure, you're just not hearing stuff?
You said you heard it too.
Well, yeah, but not from pigeons.
I didn't say it was from the pigeons. I said when I looked around the corner, the only thing here was pigeons.
Well, no.
Let's just go do the homework.
Yeah, I think maybe the homework's getting to you.
Haven't even started it yet.
Maybe the thought of the homework is getting to you.
Homework's not that bad, Dillon.
Well, says you.
Yeah, says me.
Yeah, you're like this super intelligent bookworm.
Thanks, I think. Alright, we're going to the treehouse to do homework.
Wayne will grab an old radio and a couple cassette tapes for his Walkman and then head to the treehouse. He waves and starts doing his own homework.
So my success derives from some of the answers that Lizzie has provided to me. And actually, all of the answers that I've provided were not right at all.
So was it just another case of her getting frustrated and being like, no, it wasn't the 5th century, it was the whatever century.
19th century.
Yeah, you were only 14 centuries off.
Uh-huh. When was the industrial age?
Can I just write random numbers down? That's not how that works better as guesses for math than it does for history.
Wayne will shrug at that and point at this thing, thinking he got something right after writing random numbers.
Why are you learning about agricultural history anyway? That seems weird.
We're in the same class. Don't we have the same homework?
I'm talking to both of you. I don't have the same homework.
He will shrug.
I don't know. Why do they teach us anything?
I guess it depends on what. Some of it's just so you can memorize it and do well on tests so then you can get into other schools and then you can graduate those. Some of it you actually need to know. Like, if you wanted to run for government, it would be good to know that you don't just buy votes.
I like art, but why
Art's good.
do they teach us about some lame artist who cut off his ear and went crazy. Like, what's the point in that? Seriously?
Cause someone decided it was part of school and now we do it. I don't know. I'm not in charge of school. I'm 11.
Well, I wish they would just let us draw and paint rather than
They
having
do
to
in our
tell
class.
us. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I want to be in your class.
What do you do in art class?
Oh, man. What are we learning about now?
You could just do art at home.
Expressionism or something? Or abstract stuff?
Wayne will reach into his backpack and bring out a notebook and write down "We draw and paint," and then show it to Lizzie.
He says you do draw and paint in class. So,
What? Yeah, once. One class. And then we got 4 classes on expressionism and impressionism. Why? What is the point? I don't care about some lady screaming. It doesn't even look like a lady. It just looks like someone's just thrown up on a page. Like, seriously? A child could have drawn that. And you got people going and taking photographs of it and going, "Oh, it's so good, it's so special," and we're gonna have a whole movement behind it, and then
I don't think that's really how art movements normally start.
let's worship this painting that a 3-year-old could have.
Well, that sounds more like a cult.
Well, there you go. So what? Yeah. Anyway, just let us draw.
I'm not stopping you.
Well, I did say you were stopping us, but the teacher certainly was, and he's a whack. My God, I couldn't think of anyone more loopy than him.
Wayne, did you hear anything weird on the way over here?
He shakes his head as a no.
And Dillon puts his hand up to his mouth as if to cover one side. She heard pigeons speaking.
I didn't say they were talking. I said someone was talking and then they were the only ones there. You even said there was no one.
But you said they were talking about seed.
The people were talking. Yeah, somebody was talking about seeds. And then they said the pigeons liked seeds. It doesn't mean the pigeons were talking, because pigeons don't talk.
Of course not.
Wayne looks at both of them and does the crazy thing with the finger, where you
That
spin it.
we know about.
Well, if they can't talk, they're very rude, because I asked them if they could and they didn't answer, so.
Well, maybe if we paid them to talk.
Pigeons don't use money.
Were they talking about seed?
Anyway, it was weird, okay? That's all. It was weird.
Maybe we can get some seed and throw it there, and then you can see if they will. Thank you.
Don't think they would. They said there's, well, not the pigeons. Whoever was talking said that there's always lots of seeds outside the, what was it? Outside the green building? What green building is there?
And Dillon's trying to think of a green shop.
A green shop.
Boulder Pets?
Huh.
What?
Oh, nothing. The pet shop's green. Allegedly.
What do you mean allegedly?
Yeah. Wonder what happened to go and have a look at the pet shop.
Okay. We do have to get the homework done before Friday, though.
Right. But we've still got till Friday, right? Plenty of time. I mean, we don't really need to do it till, like, what, Thursday night?
Not. Look how much you got done. And think about how much there still is.
Look, there's 20 questions. I've gotten, what, 4 questions answered. You've told me 3 are wrong.
No.
One of them's
Yes.
definitely right.
Yes.
I can't get them
So
all
you've not
right.
got 4 answered then. Well, look, you can't get it all done on Thursday. You're gonna have to do a bit of it every day.
One question a day?
Are there 20 days between now and Friday?
All right. So 4 questions a day.
Sure, we'll work on that.
It would be 5.
What do
I
you
don't
mean it'd
know
be
if-
5?
Oh, but you
Just
don't
20
really.
questions.
You
do
gotta
5
turn
a
it in
day.
on Friday. You don't have Friday afternoon to work on it.
Wait, what?
What do you mean, what? It's due on Friday. You thought you just. You thought you were gonna bring it by the school on Saturday?
Oh, Friday last. As soon as school ends, we hand it in, don't we?
Is it your last class? That's kind of what it depends on.
Oh, when's this due, Wayne?
He writes down this Friday.
Yep.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Okay, well. It's almost dinner time. Do any of you have to go home? I mean, I don't, but you might.
Well, my parents are never home, so it's only Jeeves.
Isn't he gonna worry?
Yeah, but he's used to it. As long as I don't die, I think he'll be okay.
Hey, well, I'm just gonna keep working on the homework because I don't have any time I need to be home.
Don't you have parents to go home to?
My mom's not gonna be home for like 4 or 5 more hours.
What does she do?
She's a nurse. She works
Oh, right.
all the time. And it's not like my sister cares, so
And your old man?
he doesn't live with us anymore.
That sounds like my parents. They don't live with me anymore. Anyway, as it's getting darker, he's like, well, are you going to stay here till it gets really dark? Like, seriously?
No, I'm not. Not when it's dark.
Wayne's gonna head to the school library.
Where did Wayne go?
I don't know. He's really quiet for someone who likes to play music all the time.
Yes. I was just thinking the same thing.
He doesn't play music, he listens to it.
All right. I'll walk you home.
All right, I guess I can finish my homework at home.
Uh-huh. Dylan will walk Lizzie home and then ride home.
Okay.
So around 5:30, Wayne will walk in.
He's gonna look for Mark.
Okay. Mark is sitting at one of the desks at the back of the room. He's got a notebook and a textbook out in front of him. And he's kind of scribbling in the notebook.
Wayne will walk up to him, tap him on the shoulders.
Hey Wayne, how's it going?
He gives a thumb up. And he reaches into his bag and pulls out a radio. Like a small one. It doesn't look in the best condition. Looks a couple years old. And he will hand it to him.
Thanks. What's this for?
He will bring up the notepad right. It's tech, music, personal enjoyment. I got a new one, so I didn't really need the old one.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. Smiles. Hey, have you seen the other two?
He will write down in the treehouse.
Right, of course. I'll maybe stop by later.
He will write, they said they were going home.
Right, never mind. I guess I'll hang out here as long as I can till they kick me out.
Wayne will wave goodbye and head home.
See ya.
He will wave back.
He will wave back, yeah. And Mark goes back to his studying, or attempting to study.
I'm going home to watch the A-Team.
Yeah, so stuff will probably happen first. So Mark gets home after he was kicked out of the library at 7. And his parents are fighting again. He doesn't bother to listen in and figure out what they're arguing about this time. But he's going to go to his brother's room and check on him. Hey, how was your day, Charles? It was good, brother. Not much happened. Mom and Dad are fighting again. Yeah, I know. Just ignore them. I'm sure they'll stop before you have to go to bed. And Mark will then leave and go to his own room, where he will boot up his computer. And after 5-10 minutes of trying to connect, he is able to boot it up and plays some games. Simple 1980s computer games. Like I said, he is now playing Tetris. And he will probably start his homework around 8 o'clock and go till 11.
Once Dillon gets home, he turns on the big flat screen TV that they have. It's probably like a big 40-inch. Yep, they had them.
Plasma, right?
Yeah, no, not plasma. Even before plasma, they were still CRT, like CRT style, but they were like a meter thick, half a meter thick. But they had a big flat screen. They're like, yeah. Dylan's just watching TV all night, and Jeeves brings in a TV dinner for him. The house is pretty lonely and cold and dark. Yeah, other than the TV going. And that's Dillon for the night.
Tales from the Loop is produced by Free League, starring SPG as Wayne, Raveninsane as Dillon, Shadow as Mark, Emily as Lizzie, and Ghost as the Storyteller. Sound and music by Sirenscape and Epidemic. This has been a Crit Fail production. Thanks for listening.